What's up? What's up? What's up? You know what that sound means. It's time for all day. Welcome, everybody, to the show. I'm Brett. That's Lofa. We're here to talk all kinds of playoff football. Copy this link, send it to a friend, send it to a family member, let them know we're on. We will be here taking your super chats, taking your comments all night long, and talking everything NFL playoff football, probably dipping into a little bit of college as well. I see that viewer number going up. Start putting in some comments. Here's the question for the night to start it off. Biggest surprise of the weekend? Question mark. Player, team, what were you surprised by? Lofa, I'll ask you that. You surprised by anything?
Biggest surprise was offensive coordinator's horrible game plan. And this is like more than one team. So I'll leave it there. I'm sure the chat.
Let's get specific, bro.
You want specific?
Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs did not start the whole year. All right. So of course I'm talking about Detroit. And had 9 for 96 in the first half. I don't think he got more than 3 more carries or 4 more. It's like what he was averaging 10 yards.
Yeah.
You know how excited we get on this chat, on this podcast, all day podcast, when someone's averaging 5 yards a carry, and how pissed off we get when they don't get more than 10 carries, 15 carries. Yeah, it's like, is he on a pitch count? Is there some injury we don't know about?
Well, and also all these coordinators, all these people looking for jobs, a lot of vacancies, people's names being floated around. You watch these playoff games, a lot of these guys are trying to get these jobs. What are they doing? What kind of calls are these? You're throwing a trick play when the game's on the line. You're driving the ball. You get it intercepted. We will get to the Lions. We'll get there. Let's start. It looks like we're kind of going back to front here. Ravens, Bills. I like it also. Ravens, Bills in the snow up there in Buffalo. Started snowing. The Ravens, honestly, I thought they'd give them more of a game. This is one that ends up close, but I feel like Buffalo was more in control than the final score even dictates here. But the Bills advanced to the AFC Championship over the Fighting Lamar Jacksons, who he could be the MVP. But
I don't know if he's going to get it after that.
I don't know. Does playoffs enter into it, or is it just regular season?
I think, they haven't voted on it yet, at least not to my knowledge, but which is always stupid. Save it all for after the season. Even the Pro Bowl, there's still 2 or 3 games left. So it's almost like the baseball all-star break right in the middle of the season. Whoever has the best first half goes to the baseball all-star game. It's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. So, you know, and with MVP, we'll just get to this game right here. All right. So it was not as close. Like you said, it didn't feel as close. The Ravens
had a chance to win it. And there's the headline right there. Mark Andrews, he dropped the ball. He's also the guy who fumbled it earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Crucial turnover. But backing, here it is. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that butt shot right there. For all you listening on a podcast app, go over to YouTube. Check it out. We got visuals here. Man. Mark Andrews' ass. Yeah. All he's got to do is catch the ball and fall backwards. Yet instead, Lofa, he's catching it with his body. He's catching it with his arms. I know this is not the stuff you teach as a coach.
No.
The hell is going on here?
Yeah, we always want to go back to the ball, but at this point, everybody's rushing towards you. It was a designed rollout, beautifully designed play. I don't know why Lamar held it so long. Now I can't blame him. It still hit him in the hands. A little behind him, but still hit him in the hands. Yeah. And even Mark would be the first to say, I got to catch that. The fumble, that their defense stood up, thank God, right? Forced another field goal to keep it at 8 points. So it was a 2-point game. Yeah. It was cool to see Lamar just, go all the way down the field and score. That was big. But again, Henry, I think 15 for 86, something like 5.2 a carry. Who's the little guy? Was it Mitchell? I don't know. Dude could fly, and he was running hard. Justice Hill, that's who it is. He had something like a 7-yard carry, 8-yard average. So it's like I just didn't understand it. And Henry ran for 200 yards early in the season on these guys. Now, of course, they're going to load the box, and that's why the passes to Rashad Bateman and several other guys were working. But I thought Lamar had to use his legs more. I thought Josh Allen, like, he's getting praised as a hero. I think he had 113 and no touchdown passes, but he didn't turn the ball over.
No,
that was the biggest thing. 3 turnovers for Baltimore, right? Yeah. Yes. So it was, just like some of these other big teams are just like, this is our year, and then it just ends abruptly. That's and Mark, I feel bad for him. This is a guy that unsung hero on all those years that Lamar's getting MVP. This guy's got like 12 touchdowns every year, blocking for all the 1,000-yard rushers they've had. And for this to happen, it's, because he's borderline Hall of Fame with his career right now.
Copy and paste this link, everybody. Just take a second, highlight it, copy it, paste it, send it to a family member, send it to a friend, let them know we're on right now. I'm watching this viewer number. This show doesn't officially start till we hit 100 viewers. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's go. This is all just pre-show right now. Back to the game. Mark Andrews, you got to catch that ball. Lamar put it on you. How about the throw he rips for the touchdown before that? That thing's an absolute laser beam, like Dave Niehaus would call for the Mariners, something out of Star Wars. What a throw. And, when this happened in the living room, we had a bunch of friends and family over. I go, hey, can you imagine? And I wanted to ask Lofa about this. Can you imagine you're in OTAs, you're in training camp, you're in mini camp, you're doing all those bench press reps and all these running up hills and all this stuff, and your whole season comes down to one guy not being able to body up the ball that hit him in the chest. Lamar put it right on him, bro.
There's no love lost for a fucking savage like Mark Andrews. Like that's not, it doesn't come down to one play. Like the other turnovers were costly too. It's just, you win as a team, you lose as a team. There's no one sitting there like, who else do you want to throw it to? I mean, that's.
How quiet is the locker room though? What's that mood? On the road. I mean, that's a quiet locker room, right? Like a couple fist bumps. Hey bro, see you next season. Hey bro, have a good vacation. But that's a quiet. Come on, there's got to be some crickets in there.
Absolutely. It's just very somber mood, depressing. You work all year, right, for these opportunities.
Yeah.
There's nothing like playoff football.
Yeah.
I mean, it's win or go home. And this is where a lot of the guys that I've talked about are, becoming household names. Rashad Bateman went off today. I said his name for the last couple podcasts. Terry McLaurin, we'll get to that one. Like, these guys are finally getting their spotlight. They're due, time in the light. And so it's just cool to see just the guys that I've appreciated watching. Anytime I'm watching Red Zone, I was like, yep, told everybody that guy was going to be a monster.
Yeah. How about these 2 games today in the snow? I know you had to be loving it, being a Northeast kid like that. And I know you grew up a Bills fan, so you had to be excited to see them move on.
Absolutely. It's tough being a Bills fan. It really is. And like, I was a kid as a Bills fan when they lost 4 straight Super Bowls. But it was, as I was watching both games, just seeing all these guys slip because they're not wearing the right cleats was maddening. It was, because that's something that like Holmgren would always start with. If the weather report came out and they're like, oh, it's going to be snow, or they have long grass, every time we were traveling, he's like, you better be wearing the right cleats. And, the screw-ins one. They were linemen, little ass linebackers were bull rushing and just pushing linemen. They're on skates, just driving them straight back to the quarterback because they can't anchor and get leverage in the ground. So, I wore those fucking, I don't know, like was it 3/4 or 5/8 of an inch? It was like damn high heels. That shit was that long. I was definitely over 6 feet those days.
Well, the Bills are moving on. They'll face Kansas City. Flipping over to the NFC side, the Rams and Eagles. the Rams put up quite a fight, man, on the road in the snow. The conditions were incredible to watch. Excuse me. First half, field looked normal. Everything looked fine. Second half, snowy mess out there. What a crazy game that was. But Saquon Barkley, he dominates again, 205 yards on the ground. Why did the Giants ever let this guy go? 2 touchdowns. I mean, the jump cut was incredible. The move to the left without breaking stride on the other touchdown run, just like gliding. I mean, not even running, but just gliding to the left effortlessly. What an incredible talent. The Eagles, they move on and they beat the Rams, who I think the Rams had a great season, but they ran into a few things here in this game, the weather being one of them, and then Saquon Barkley being the other one.
Yeah, they ran into themselves too. All those damn turnovers. They're like, this is the team. This is why, I sound like a broken record when we were talking about the Hawks all year and we were losing the turnover battle and we still had a winning record, which was an anomaly. That was actually downright insane. And so, but in the playoffs, the margin for error, every team in there is one of the best. And so we saw it happen again. Stafford, I think he had a pick, he had a fumble. All these big damn quarterbacks. But you know what? Just look at this stat line, everybody. All right. In a day and age when running backs are devalued, Detroit is out of the playoffs because they stopped handing it off and they decided to throw with a concussed quarterback 40 times. Saquon Barkley ran for 200 yards. He also ran for 2,000 yards this year. So I got to imagine this running back market's going to go back up with what he and Derrick Henry just did. Derrick Henry, 1,900 yards, all those touchdowns. And then he averaged another 5+. Didn't know why he didn't get more carries. It's wild, but when you get to these playoff games, the teams that have a running game usually go all the way.
Who the F is the person that floated this whole thing about like you could get anyone to run the ball? What the hell? Like that prevailed in the last 2 to 3 years. But then you watch these games today and no, it's the running backs. The way that they hit the hole, Henry looks like he's shot out of a cannon. Like it is the player that is running the ball. I mean, I think to some extent you can get a scheme that can get you a few yards. But these guys who transcend those few yards, it's on them, man. These guys are special talents.
Well, absolutely. There is a upper echelon, the elite, right? These guys, the McCaffreys, like those Kamara, the guys that can do everything. And so now, like, think about McCaffrey in Carolina. He didn't really have, like, his first couple of years, he might have had some veteran, good Pro Bowl linemen. After that, the dude was 90% of the offense, and he didn't have much room or, holes to work with. Goes to San Fran. And he looks like he went back in time, to young McCaffrey, like just 75-yard run here, screen pass for 80. Like it's that's why these guys are drafted so high. You pair them up with a good O-line, and they hit the home runs like the Adrian Petersons. But the trenches, man, it always comes down to the trenches because Saquon, it was hard for him to run in New York. Like he did what was best for him, thankfully, and got out of there. Yeah. And it does not look, I would hate to be, a Giant fan or just watching him run all the way.
I know.
That last one.
I know, man. His vision's incredible. And I remember, I think the Huskies played Penn State in a bowl game when Saquon was with Penn State. And I think he was returning kicks back in the day for them. And so the spatial awareness of like, how to move through a crowd, I think is, comes all the way from back in the day of returning kicks, returning punts. He's just an incredible athlete, but the way that he moves,
he has
north and south, it's incredible.
A lot of these guys, both these guys we're talking about, and McCaffrey, they have so much straightaway speed that they can jog or go 3/4 until they see and set everything up, and they'll set it up with a lean. He gave on that one you're talking about where he glided to the left and then hit the gas for the last run. If you go back, the D lineman, he had that hole that he broke through. he saw him dip his head down and step, and then as the D lineman crossed face, he was like, "Thank you." And now the linebacker and the D lineman were in the same gap, and he just shot out of there. And the arm tackle's not going to get him because the D lineman did hustle back and retrace. And then from there, dude, he was dancing at the 20-yard line.
Right.
Like he started like skipping and dancing and like, "Hey, I'm going to score."
To be able to do that vision at field level just doesn't make any sense at all. Like for us who play Madden or watch games on TV, we're up above. You can see that cut to the left or the right, but on the field, to be able to see that is just incredible. He's a completely different
nature. Yeah.
And just the idea that they floated this thing about, running backs just being sort of system, or that they just follow blockers and you can get anyone to do it. The idea that they were able to devalue those players for a couple of years with this narrative is completely ridiculous when you watch what guys are able to do on the field.
The wildest shit, he's only 2 years removed from an ACL. Like, it looked like he came back stronger, faster.
Yeah, wild. The Commanders, the fighting Bobby Wagners.
Yeah.
The Washington Bobby Wagners. And by the way, the Commanders, I don't know about that name. They were the Washington football team. We all know what they were before that. Should we just rename them the Washington Jadens? Because, my God, that is their entire team. And he is a talent. I mean, wow. He's must-see TV. 29 of 31 for 299 in that game, 2 touchdowns, 16 carries for another 51. But when he looks like he's going to be tackled, he sprints ahead for like 6 more yards. He's wiry. He's kind of slightly built, honestly. So it almost looks
tiny.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he should be able to do it. And then all of a sudden, there he is slipping ahead for the first down. He's incredible to watch, and to see Bobby doing it, I think all Seahawks fans should kind of be Commanders fans, hopefully, if we can all root for Bobby in this one. But anyway, impressive by them, and it's fun to see Dan Quinn doing it. There's another Seahawks connection there. But they take down the Lions, the mighty Lions, who everyone thought this was their year, but no, the commies, as McNasty would say.
The commies got them.
And they get the job done. I know you love them.
Oh, and in particular, and shout out to Magic Mike, Big Mike. How about these graphics, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Got B-Wags right there, Jane Daniels. Dude, I've been saying it ever since I really went back and looked at the stats. We watched that Eagles game when we were at the Hawks game waiting for the kickoff, and we watched him come back, and it was all him. And he leads the team in rushing. No moment do you ever see any kind of panic, or it's just the poise. The demeanor that he has is insane. Ice water in his veins. Every, cliche you've ever heard, this kid has it. And to do it as a rookie, it's unbelievable. And, shout out to him. I'm not lying. It's Saquon or him. Those are my MVPs. I know Allen and Lamar had great seasons. They had more help than this guy did.
Did you say I'm not lying when talking about the Commanders and Lions?
Oh, I might have. I don't know. I already forgot.
Okay, the Commanders, they look great when they needed to. They honestly could have stopped even one extra touchdown where there was that bogus face mask penalty that was on a shoulder pad, but they can't go back and review it. And they ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive, but that was a third down. They should have got them off the field. I don't know why. And we talked about this during the regular season. I don't know why the NFL can't just review sort of anything that they see as a discrepancy. And hey, maybe this guy didn't see that. Let's go back and look at that. But either way.
Yeah. Whatever. Oh yeah. We'll get to that when we get to the next game too.
I know. We'll get there. Yeah. But the Commanders, they were in full control, man. I really feel like that. I think that, it was a 3-point game going in the fourth quarter, but the second that they picked off that trick play from everybody's boy, by the way, the hot OC of the year that everyone wants as their new head coach, Ben Johnson, he decides to draw up a trick play to get a pass from a wide receiver while they're driving the ball. The Commanders pick off the ball and they never look back. I mean,
okay. Yeah. To make matters worse, Your quarterback gets knocked out on a pick six. He threw three interceptions, by the way.
Yes.
But your boy gets knocked out, goes to the tent, goes to the locker room. Teddy Bridgewater comes out of the state championship game that he coached a couple weeks ago, throws on a jersey, leads them down. I know he handed it off 3 times, threw 1 pass for a first down, and then gave the reverse to Jameson Williams. I know. Scored a touchdown. And, that should be running through your mind as an OC. We threw 1 check down, and we ran the ball 4 times that drive. Okay, let's do it again, especially because my quarterback might not be there. And some of those throws were not sailing one skipped. He tried the little sidearm shit. That thing skipped to the guy, and even the tight end was like, "What was that, bro?" As a teammate, you got to go check on your boy. Hey, should he be out here?
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I think they kind of S the bed, to be honest with you. 15-win team. They're the number 1 team in the NFC. Everybody's talking about them. They got a home field advantage through the playoffs. Here come the Commanders with a rookie quarterback. The Commanders are not supposed to win that game. And I'm telling you, I was reminded that it was a 3-point game going in the fourth quarter because it did not feel like that. When the Commanders picked off that ball, it just kind of felt like that was what was supposed to happen. I don't really know how else to explain it. I did not think the Lions were going to win that after 3 quarters of that game.
And another Sanistro, that DB, that kid's amazing. And I think he's either a rookie or something from Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, big plays all season long. And he showed up again, on the road in the playoffs. That guy's going to be special. I mean, he already is, but to be doing this that early, that's a great football mind and a hell of an athlete.
How do you guys feel watching Bobby out there? I mean, for me, I can't help but smile and root for him, of course. I hope that everybody out there is rooting for him. I see some comments in the chat. We're all Commanders fans now, but how do you guys feel? I mean, you got to be happy rooting for our guy. And if a rookie quarterback can take him all the way there and get him out of the ring, let's go, baby.
Man, what a storybook. I'm not going to say ending because Bobby had another 140 tackles, 150 tackles this year. So I know he's going for the record. Whatever it is, it's up there somewhere, and he's probably knocking on that door.
Well, I think the thing from this game, too, is, speaking of Bobby and on that side of the ball, the knock against the Commanders all year long was their defense, right? But in this game, they stepped up. They got to Goff when they had to. They got picks when they had to. And fumble. I mean, that's what you got to do in the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Frankie Louvu, man, everywhere. Anytime you heard a big hit, you just heard the announcer, Frankie Louvu, just machine. And him and Bobby pairing up, that's awesome to see over there. They're awesome, man.
Yeah. To copy this link, send it to your friends and family. I see the viewer number going up. Let's keep that thing going up. The show does not start till we get to at least 100. So keep copying and pasting and telling everybody that we're on right now.
We're on right now.
Well, we are, but it's not the official show.
Oh,
you know what I mean? This is all just pre-talk and stuff. The Texans and the Chiefs, everybody. The game that everybody was rooting for the Texans. But I also feel like nobody was really watching because they all knew the Chiefs were going to win. Travis Kelce wakes up finally, has the best game of the season probably for him. Mahomes does just enough, and the Chiefs win in a boring sort of fashion over the Texans, who never had a chance because they were not only playing the Chiefs, but they were also playing the refs.
The story I know too well, brother.
Ugh, gross. Come on, man. Some of those penalties are completely.
I saw the first one where Will Anderson hit him, and I couldn't believe they didn't review it. Like you just said when we were speaking about that last game. Even was it Mike Pereira, whoever is up in the booth at New York at headquarters, he was like, "Yeah, I can't believe they didn't review this. Well, why don't you fucking buzz them, dude?
Yeah, right.
Let them know they got it wrong."
Tell him, Lofa.
I know.
Right. And then what about the one that they threw? Another roughing when he slid and the 2 Texans smoked each other.
Hit each other.
That hurt my neck.
Oh.
I know. I honestly okay. if the NFL is an entertainment product and they watch social media like I do, they got to see that people are getting pissed off about this whole Chiefs narrative and all the refereeing that goes along with it. I see all these AI animations of Mahomes like making out with refs and stuff. I don't know if you see those.
No, I haven't.
You ever seen this?
I'm worried about your algorithm, brother.
Yeah, dude.
Let me know. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but like I see slow motion cartoons of Mahomes like
too?
softly kissing referees on the mouth. You don't see those?
Do you like those videos?
I probably watch them for a little too long, if I'm honest.
That's what's giving it to.
Anyway,
Freddie, I'm worried about his algorithm with the feed, his timeline showing him.
you guys know what I'm talking about.
No, they don't.
They know. They know.
don't.
Watch the chat. Watch. They know. Anyway, it's bogus, man. You watch. Okay, Goff didn't get a 15-yard penalty when he got smoked. Lamar's taking hits all game long. There is a clear Chiefs rule book, and then everybody else.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I mean, no, you're not wrong. Lamar got smoked 5 yards out of bounds, not even one. And then the guy that smoked him, they started like pushing.
Too.
It was he landed on his ankle. Might have been a hip drop, you know.
Bro, how about the hip drop in the Texans game? Dude got hip dropped from the Chiefs are on defense. They totally hip dropped the guy, just like the Seahawks game. What was that? Second to last week of the regular season, where there was a hip drop clearly on Charbonnet. They didn't call. Like, I just want consistency from the referees from game to game.
Well, how are you going to get consistency with part-time official or part-time? It's not even a full-time job.
Yeah, I know. Well, here's what it is. Okay, in baseball, when they review, they go to one central location. In the NFL, they review, and it's then up to the guys who are at the stadium already, which are the guys who made the call in the first place, aren't they? So how is that's the only consistency there is the guys who are in the stadium already. Why don't we go to the league office like the MLB does?
Hey, I'm with it.
Okay.
Because you know why we won't? Because it makes too much sense, and common sense ain't common. It's like, wait, you mean we could get all the calls right?
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be fun.
Right. Yeah. Well, either way, the Chiefs are headed to their seventh. Is this correct? Their seventh straight AFC title game, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, no matter what you think of them, you got to respect that.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the experience, and they're not going to hurt themselves. Like, you're going to have to go. Like, Buffalo's going to have to go in there and take it. Yeah. Josh Allen is going to have to put on the cape and be Superman and not turn the ball over. Like, he played a great game, against the Ravens by just, hey, don't give them any more opportunity. And it still came down to a 2-point. That's how good Baltimore really is. They gave the ball 3 times, and then it came down to a 2-point, missed 2-point. But yeah, Chiefs, man, and yeah. So everybody's Bills fans this week, huh? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, listen, you guys keep filling up the chat. We're going to be here for as long as you guys are filling up the super chats. So get those going in. Q&A is next. We're here to answer your comments and questions all night long. Here's the thing. The Bills, and I noticed a lot of guys getting hurt on defense in this game they just played. Sets up kind of well for the Chiefs. The guy Rapp, he went out. The guy who came in for him, he went out. I worry about the Bills with like a war of attrition, and I worry that opens up this window for the Chiefs. And I just,
he's
annoying me. Other than Andy Reid, they annoy me.
Yeah, I hear you. I like Pacheco. He's a beast. Actually, I like pretty much all of their players on defense. Yeah. Nick Bolton, underrated. That kid is a machine. Karlaftis, Chanel, they got some players over there on defense, and their defense has been carrying them this whole year, and even much of last year, because we haven't seen the MVP Mahomes in those outrageous 5,000 passing yards lately. But yeah, I hear you. It'd be good for Buffalo to finally. Not going to say they're going to definitely win the Super Bowl, but at least go back, right? It's been 30 years, hasn't it?
I think this year it's going to be Buffalo v. Commanders. And I think the Commanders are that team where they lose the Super Bowl and you kind of don't remember who played in the Super Bowl. And this is the Bills' year for you and your childhood and everybody who grew up in Buffalo. I think this is their year.
Wow.
So it'll be like revenge from the first Super Bowl they lost. Or no, they lost to the Giants and then they lost to the Redskins. Yeah. And then Dallas twice. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to have a drawing that I drew while I was watching that Super Bowl of the field goal, and I have little dots leading to the ball.
Of the ball.
Wide right. Used to have this little colored pencils, you know. Like I was how old what was that? 94? 95?
No.
What was that?
It was 91, 2, 3, and 4. Which it would be 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think, Super Bowls, right? Because it was in February or probably late January back then.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like 8 years old, 9 years old, something like that. Yeah. That's what the drawing looks like. Still got it in my box. Wide right. Norwood. What the hell? Pushed it.
And he was so clutch too, like that. Like his whole career.
Oh.
It was like, remember when Minnesota in the NFC Championship against Atlanta? Morton Anderson? Was it Morton or Gary? One of them. Probably it's Gary.
Probably Gary.
With the single bar, the Bobby Boucher face mask. Just steps to the plate and misses it. And everybody's like, he never misses. Like,
bro, I was like you, man. I love those teams. Joe Kelly, Thurman Thomas. Come on, man.
Jim Kelly.
Teams. I cannot believe. Sorry, Jim Kelly. Yeah, Jim Kelly. I cannot believe they pushed those. I don't know.
I feel like after two, like you gets into your subconscious of the big game, and I feel like some of these teams, whether they weren't wearing the proper equipment, gloves, Puka Nacua, it was targeted until the last drive where he caught like 2 and they scored a touchdown, 2 clutch ones. He on 10 targets had 4 catches for 40 yards, and that's uncharacteristic of him. I don't know why they didn't go to Cup more or Robinson, Cooper Cup or Demarcus Robinson. Demarcus Robinson was balling. That guy's going to be a problem.
That catch on the sideline, though, by Nacua down the stretch, I thought that would be the one. I thought, they're going to do it. They're going to come back. They're going to shock the world. But no. It's time for your Q&As. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Then we had to watch the horrible, hey, we're kicking an onside, guys. Here it comes.
Yeah, I know.
It's the worst.
God. We're opening it up right now, but let's keep going with that for a second because that pissed me off. Like, they put the rules up on the screen. You must be behind, which is what? You can't kick an onside kick whenever you want? I didn't realize that until this moment. And then all the other rules that go along with it, you got to announce it and all this stuff. Like, the fun of it was that it rarely would ever happen, but at least there was a chance.
Yeah.
Now they put up those rules. Forget it. Is it ever going to happen? I mean, close.
It will. The odds. Oh, yeah. The first one. Yeah. The odds are it will. Someone will eventually mess up,
right. But not near the frequency that it could have.
Yeah. Well, even just do the Saints beat Indianapolis if Sean Payton doesn't go surprise onside? Was it to start the second half? Like, talk about big onions.
Yeah, and fun. That's what the game should have been. Yeah, you play to win the game.
Huge momentum swing.
If you guys want to bet on anything from the world of sports, including onside kicks, it's betonline.ag, everybody. That's the browser app. Or, sorry, not the browser app. That's the browser. They also have the app. Download it in any app store. It's betonline.ag, where the game starts. Use our promo code
BLEAV, BLEAV.
With your first deposit, you get a nice welcome bonus from our friends at BetOnline. Also, Magic Mind, everybody. Go to magicmind.com/alldayjan because it's January and start your year off with Magic Mind. Lofa and I have been drinking this stuff. I take it in the morning. There's also one for the evening. You're right. We talked about this on the preview episode. The evening one is great. Nice sleep. It doesn't give you weird dreams, which you get with some other stuff that I've seen over the years, or you mentioned, but
yeah. Damn, I don't have my. I already took all of those nighttime ones. I have to re-up, so I'm going to be purchasing some. But yeah, it's not like a lot of people just throw melatonin. Like I said, I look at all the panels when I take supplements or anything, and this one's not with melatonin. Melatonin. I don't know if anybody else has had the experience, but me and my kid have like horrible nightmares on melatonin, and I thought it was like just maybe a coincidence. Maybe I ate before bed. Then I went back and took it, the melatonin I'm talking about. And yeah, that was 2 for 2. I was like, you know what? No, I'm seeing a pattern develop here. But this one has, I don't know if it's valerian root or chamomile. I will make sure I have it for the next time. But it's the drink. Yeah, there it is. I woke up well rested. But I really like the daytime one though. Like,
yeah, man, they're great. They're little bottles, a little shot in the morning. You stir it in at night. All good stuff, all natural ingredients, super organic stuff. All these companies are doing it right these days. They also donate a percentage of every single bottle sold to help the homeless. It's just, a good company doing good things for people out there. Go to magicmind.com/alldayjan. You get 45% off of the Magic Mind bundle with this link. Check it out. It's magicmind.com/alldayjan. Trust us. Do yourself a favor and start checking on your mental wealth, not your mental health, your mental wealth, everybody. With Magic Mind. More Q&A stuff. Katie, you got your microphone on?
Yeah, I got it.
Read us some questions and we got some A's.
Okay. First one is just a comment mostly from Flyin' Clutchman. Hey, I have Nasty won a parlay yesterday.
Not a boy.
This is so.
If we've ever been curious,
not to blow him up, but this is McNasty comment.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Look at that. What? 345 now. Thanks, McNasty, for stopping by.
Congratulations. I'm so happy.
It had to be like a 20-leg parlay of the most ridiculous things you've ever seen. But I'm happy for him.
Yeah, he doesn't put in what the parlay was, but apparently McNasty won a parlay. I don't know how Clutchman would know that.
But he knows. Yeah, he knows. Hell yeah.
Good for McNasty
on the inside. Yeah, love McNasty. That's my dog.
What else you got over there, Katie?
This next comment is from Alina Dahl. I just want Alina to know that I personally thought about you, Alina, over this last week. It's the 40th anniversary of the Goonies, gentlemen.
It was on all weekend.
Yeah. And it played in movie theaters. And I just had such a big smile thinking about you, Alina. So
hey,
thank you so much.
Guys.
Yeah, for sure.
We got to make Alina a Goonie shirt.
Heck yeah, we do. Alina says, Lofa, Brent. What?
Name change.
How happy are you that the Spam Rams lost? I was doing my happy dance. Also, don't you remember the game where the ball hit Packers in the chest after the onside kick sent us to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Chris Matthews climbing the ladder and snagging that thing out of there. Dude, you want to talk about reaction time? That thing hit off that guy's hand so quick, and Matthews just grabbed it.
Yep.
But
that's not what I want to talk about here. Why does she call me Brent?
I don't know, but I'm making a Brent shirt now too.
What the heck is going on, Alina? I thought we were friends. You got to be kidding me. A real
I wonder if that was just a typo. Sorry, you said
typo.
A typo, or if that was
a
typo.
No, it's an attack. That's an absolute attack. How dare you, Alina?
Well, she's back for another one. Says Lofa. Speaking of weather. Is it just as fun as it seems on TV for players to tackle other players and see the slide across the field 10 yards in the snow/rain? Also, shout out to dog Kelsey Plum, number 10, retired.
Oh, Yeah, shout out Kelsey Plum. Yeah, like the little kid in you that grew up playing outside and in the elements has fun. The first time it happens, you're not excited. You're like, I hope I can just smoke the guy and just land on a pile or something, or I don't hit the ground. But as soon as like, you know, you get, or if it's raining, you get soaked anyways. You're just like, who cares? But like the snow, you know, and then if it depends on what kind of snow it is it like the clunky kind that actually sticks? Yeah, but gotta wear I learned this from Holmgren, and it was the first time we were about to play in the snow. I think it was Philly. He's like, all I'm saying is if I see anybody slip, you don't want to know the consequences.
Yeah.
And I had the longest cleats we could find on, and I didn't slip. But there's something to that. There was a clip of, you know, I was talking about that Sean Payton Super Bowl against the Saints and the Colts, where a running back slipped and on the goal line, and I think they ended up having to kick a field goal or whatever. And he like, there's an NFL sounds, or he's like, hey, what kind of cleats you got on? Like he wanted to see him, and like the kid tried to run away. Like he looked, he's like, I knew it. That's
crazy.
So he obviously had that talk, but things like this stick in coaches' minds. Like, okay, I told him and he didn't listen. Like if it happens again, you could get cut. Like that's how serious this is.
Yeah,
especially the playoffs. Ooh.
Well, so let's see here. You're gonna have the NFC Championship game will be played in Philly, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so because they're the higher seed, and then on the AFC side it'll be in Kansas City, but then the Super Bowl will be in a dome down there in New Orleans. So weather will not be a factor in the biggest game of the year. However, in the championship game, still could be a factor. I noticed that the Philly players, when it got tough, I mean, they were really kind of doing those short, choppy steps, keeping their feet underneath them, but they were doing it better than the Rams were. They were keeping the traction a little bit better, regardless of
because they know, like they practiced in the elements before, right? And like it's always, you know, sunny out there in LA, and to see some of those footballs sail, and like, you know, the receivers, Nakua, I saw him look like on like a cartoon, like trying to turn the corner. He just kept drifting.
Yeah.
And that's game of inches, man. Like that should have been any other time it's a touchdown because he was so far past the guy.
We had some friends over watching the games, and so one of my buddies grew up in Washington State like I did, so grew up in playing in all kinds of elements. Another one of
did I freeze?
Ever. In rain or snow, not even snow though, because it's California. So like basically he was saying I played 2 games in the rain in my entire career, and he played all the way through, you know, JC and also high school. And whereas my buddy and I are like, oh, in Washington State, you're playing stuff all the time. I mean, you discount sort of like where these guys grow up and the fact that you might quite literally never play in these elements ever until you get to that point. Growing up in California, Arizona, Florida.
I grew up in Massachusetts. I went to Maine for my freshman year, and it snowed in April during our spring game. So terrible. And it was the old turf, like the carpet. So it was turf burn, like road rash, like you're a motorcycle.
Yuck. Gross.
Awful.
Playing on a Brillo pad.
Yeah. John Langston says, what a great football weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar almost came back to win it. What are you looking for with the final 4 teams that are left?
Yeah.
I want to know who's going to assert their dominance in the trenches, because that's where the game's won. I have said it since I played. After I play, I'll say it till the day I die. Like the monsters up front is where this game is won. And right now, you know, O&D line, Baltimore had that. They had the best O&D line. And so, and Detroit had the best O-line. Their D-line, they lost 9 of their 11 starters on defense. So they were kind of like you're saying about Buffalo, beat up. But, you know, out of the other teams, I just, Jaden Daniels and this magic, like how much longer can he do it? Right.
Yeah.
And then, because like I think Philly, if they just hand it off, they could just hand it off every play, and they'll find a way to win that one because they're just keeping him on the sidelines with his quick scores that wear out the defense, right? And like he hit a couple drives over 80 yards. That's not normal for a veteran quarterback, never mind a rookie. So that guy's a freak of nature, and he's doing great things, and that defense just believes and comes up with turnovers. But yeah, who's going to win in the trenches is what I'm looking for, Johnny Langston.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I like the matchup of two NFC East teams going at it. Third time they've played this year. So you guys know that I like the WWE and I like my entertainment and my storylines and stuff. So the fact that they're going to compete against each other for the third time is fun. I also like the idea that they're just clowning on the New York Giants, who I can't stand because of what they do to us. But I love that these two teams with Jaden Daniels, who the Giants did not move up to get in the draft, and then Saquon Barkley, who the Giants, they let walk and test free agency and all that. So I just kind of like that they're dunking on the Giants, both of these teams.
Did you see the video of it had to be the Hard Knocks or whatever, where he's in there with his family and he's like, hey, who should we take? And he's like, trade up and get Daniels. Like, it was that kid is a future GM. All right. That kid.
It's the GM's kid. Yeah. He's like a 14-year-old or 16-year-old kid. He's basically playing Madden, but in real life, and telling his dad to go get Daniels, and he doesn't. He doesn't do it. He rode with,
first off, Malik Neighbors is filthy. So, like,
he's a great player, but he's not Jaden Daniels now.
Absolutely. And it looks worse now that it was a couple months ago that video was taped. And then
Jones is gone.
Well, and Saquon, who they wanted to keep, like, is going on to the NFC. The two guys, basically. That he could have had but this is fucking hindsight, like 2020. Hindsight's 2020.
Okay, but by the way, didn't I tell you to watch that Hard Knocks though? I told you
that was the greatest clip of any Hard Knocks of all time. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't need to see the rest.
It's like special off-season one, so you get the front office. It's not the players. It's like all the executives and stuff, and so it's interesting to see those conversations.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just hilarious that his kid's like Jaden Daniels, duh.
Well, speaking of dunking on dudes, Alina's here. She says, Brett, getting you for mispronouncing my name.
Oh.
Yes, you did. I haven't mentioned Goonies. Hey, guess what? I watched it all weekend.
The
late night ones had the actual swearing in it.
What?
Dollar Tree Wi-Fi, Brett?
Oh, how dare you. All right.
Oh, good. I thought it was my Wi-Fi. I thought it was mine. Thanks, Alina.
It depends on what room you're in.
She's got another one here. She says, consistent calls by the refs. If they get them wrong, number one, warning. Like the first time, warning. The second time, hit them with a fine. Third time, be suspended with no pay for a game. Sue the refs for all this PTSD. Make public all wrong calls. F the refs.
Football is a very weird sport where it's like it's interesting. It's like guys will make a hit and then they look around. Did I do that?
Yeah.
Really?
I tell guys, don't look. Just don't look.
It's just so different than any other sport in that way where like and then as a watching guys make plays in real time that you look at your friends on the couch and you say, oh, they're going to have a flag. And then you feel lucky when they don't throw a flag. It's just, it's just I don't know. It's hard to kind of watch as a fan that grew up watching it with like the hard hits. And I mean, there was a hit in the Rams game.
Witherspoon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, guy got blown up. It looked bad in real time, but then you go back and watch it. Looks like any hit that Cam Chancellor would have delivered or whatever back in the day, which is not to say that it was dirty or anything. I just think it was a good, clean football hit. You separate the guy from the ball. That's what football is, isn't it?
I just gonna say it, partner. You said it. How are you supposed to get that ball out?
Right. That's
like,
the
just
game.
Hope he drops it.
Yeah. You're wearing a helmet. You're wearing shoulder pads. Look, I don't advocate for anyone getting injured or anything like that. But unique to this sport versus in baseball, the guy who hit the ball can't go out and try to smoke the center fielder before he makes the catch. It's just not part of the game. Okay, so you got to subtract that. In basketball, it's a foul. That's the part of the game. In football, you're supposed to do that. That's the game, isn't it?
Like hockey, you're supposed to punch the guy in the face if he gets a breakaway.
Well, even that's a little bit
softer. They legally have fights.
Yeah.
Right. Might reverse course and say hockey's better than football. They have a problem, they sell it right there. Hey, drop your gloves.
Let's go. Yeah. I know. I don't know what these football players are supposed to do anymore. But it's what I'm trying to talk to though, and the fans, you guys listening, you guys tell us what you think. But watching it on my couch, that hit in the Eagles-Rams game, that specific one with Witherspoon there. As you watch in real time, it's a great hit, and you get up off your couch, you go, oh yeah, he smoked that guy. Oh yeah, great. But then in the very next second, you're thinking, here comes the flag. And then there it comes. And now it's not a spot foul. They don't move the ball all the way down there. It's a 15-yard penalty. Okay, fine. But should that be a penalty at all?
No. And just like you're saying, take it out of these guys' hands, right? And have the booth buzz down, be like, hey, that was a penalty. And now a late flag at least. So now no one's mad at the guy that's down there subjectively calling it. This came from New York, guys.
Right.
I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me. I feel like that's the way to go about it.
Yeah. But back in your day, or even before that, they didn't have even a replay at all. And I don't feel like we had a lot of these questions that we have now. It's not only that there's the replay, but then there's just the court of public opinion. There's all the player safety, which I think is important. But at the same time, I just don't feel like I just don't know how many of these penalties or not penalties are in the spirit of the game in which they're even playing. The sport of football. It's supposed to be a physical sport. They're wearing helmets. I don't know.
The intimidation factor used to be part of the plan.
Right.
Make sure they don't want to run across the middle.
Right.
That was part of not hurt anybody within the rules of the game before the whistle happens. Nothing dirty, but nasty. That was what it was all about.
Right.
Break their will to play this game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's part of the game. In the spirit of the game. Yeah.
Alina. Lofa, update on the Seattle dog and watching the video with Marshawn and Gronk playing Mortal Kombat. Yep. Gonna keep asking. Love you.
I had a Seattle dog home cooked. All right.
Okay.
And it was mid. I'm not gonna lie. It was mid.
Wait, no, hold on. We need more of this story because you texted the group and you said something about sauerkraut. That is.
Oh, thank you.
Has that got resolved?
Not supposed to have
sauerkraut on a Seattle dog.
Well, fucking ChatGPT or whatever search engine I used that it said I can't even remember all. Cream cheese, obviously.
Yeah.
Sriracha, which one of you guys told me to do.
Okay, yeah.
Probably the best part of it. The onions, grilled the onions, right?
Yeah.
And then, sauerkraut. And actually, I don't mind sauerkraut. I don't mind it.
It's not supposed to be there.
That's that. I don't know about this.
Honestly, I like sauerkraut, so it didn't ruin the experience for me.
Sauerkraut is delicious. I agree with that.
But I will tell you, I lost a couple pounds. That was the only bright side because I was stuck in the bathroom for a while.
So the review
without getting too graphic. Yeah, Melina, we'll send you that video if you want to see it. I ate the whole damn thing.
We got to put that up.
She also asks about watching the video with Marshawn and Gronk playing Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, we got to check that out. I'll send you that. That's on Conan back in the day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Anything Gronk is doing, anything Marshawn is doing, I'm probably watching. They're entertaining.
Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah, they're hilarious.
Yeah. So, okay, of the teams left, who do you want to see in the big game? And has your Well, you had the Texans preseason, so I would assume your thoughts on who's going to win the big game have changed as well.
Yes. So who do I want to see? I would like to see the Bills and the Commies. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Who do I think we're going to see? I think we're going to get a Kansas City Philly rematch.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get one of those from a couple years ago. Like,
Kansas City is so boring. I got to tell you, like, if the NFL is an entertainment product and if there is a script, I hope they're watching because I'm done with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's got to be one of those things where, like the WWE, they would take the person all the way up to the championship battle or whatever, but they'd have something happen right before it that keeps them out of it. I don't want them in there. They're boring. They're tired. They're old. They win by 1 point, and it's not in a way that I deem interesting at all. I feel like the other teams are losing the games versus the Chiefs winning the games. I'm done with them. I want a newcomer in the ring, and I want somebody else to be in there and take over for them. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to give your guys, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills and their classic white helmets, the chance that they deserve. And the fans need it up there. Let's pass the torch.
You know, and like the 9-year-old Lofa right now is saying, how could you fucking say that? Because I'm going to. I'd rather see Bobby and the boys get the Super Bowl than the Bills, because they got Josh Allen. They're gonna go back, right? They finally got first time Josh has broke through the divisional or whatever, I think, and so their future is bright in Buffalo. Like they're gonna get him more help. He had decent help this year. I thought the previous 2 years were really his best chances to win the Super Bowl. But yeah, dude, I can't go against Dan Quinn, Bobby, Jaden, Nick Ballore, Katie shouted him out earlier. I heard you, Katie. We can't go against them. Those are our guys. Those are our brothers.
I think, okay, if this is not the year for Buffalo, I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, like you said, they might go back, but we know how hard that is. You know how hard that is. Like,
I know.
This is their year, man. Josh Allen might be the MVP. They got Kansas City on the ropes. Kansas City isn't scoring. Buffalo's taking the ball away. I think this is the year they got to go in. They got to go into their territory. They got to beat them on their field, and then they got to do what they've been wanting to do for years. And having the matchup on the other side, I don't know if Philly's going to come out of that game. I think if it's the Commanders, I respect them, but I think that's the Buffalo's chance to take it.
So what do you want?
I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
What do I want? What do I want? Sorry, I hit the cough button. What do I want? What I want is I want the Commanders in the game. I just don't think
you feel like it's the Bills. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Hey, I don't know if Jaden Daniels ends up with that ball last. Shit, you want to talk about storybook? That guy is going to do what he's been doing,
bro. If he wins the Super Bowl as a rookie, that team that no one was talking about, I think that's one of the best stories.
It's where they should take whatever. Like, don't hand out the MVP until that's over. As long if this kid wins next week and then goes to Super Bowl, you better rethink your vote, because
I agree.
Go back and leading rusher on his team, and defense that was up and down all year, timely takeaways. They fought hard. It's a scrappy group, but they have been led by this guy the whole year.
Well, who's the last rookie quarterback to have a year like this?
I guess Robert Griffin probably,
or Russ.
Yeah,
he took him in Atlanta.
But I mean, even Russ and Robert Griffin had Alfred Morris, who was like a 1,300-yard rusher. He was a good running back. Marshawn Lynch, I think everybody knows who that is. Legion of Boom, number one scoring defense. This kid Jaden Daniels hasn't had any of that.
He doesn't have any of that. No, I know. It's him doing it by himself, pretty much with Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson's a great running back. They're banged up on the line a little. Like, they lost their right tackle, who's a stud. So it's just like, but they just keep doing it, and they just believe so strongly that they're going to get it done.
It kind of feels like Washington teams back in the day, though. Isn't that what Gibbs would do? He kind of just get a bunch of guys together, get them motivated, and get them playing the right way. And I mean, Daniels is a star, but then beyond that, you got a bunch of guys who are just good football players who know how to do what they do very well, but they're not necessarily superstar players, which I think is what they did back in the day.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't even know who Terry McLaurin is, which is wild to me because I've been talking about him for years. The guy's had, I think Johnny Langston texted me after he watched him play. And he's like, I didn't realize this guy was that good. The guy, he's been in the league 6 years. He's had 10 different quarterbacks.
Right.
And he's still getting the job done, like with a crazy touchdown ratio, average yards per reception, insane. Like, that's hard to do when you have a consistent same quarterback and you've built chemistry with and rapport with, right? And now you're talking like he's had 10 different guys back there. It's like, oh, who's the starter this week?
Right. Katie, you got a comment there?
Alina Dahl, she's talking about your Seattle dog.
Oh.
Lofa, home cooked does not count.
Uh-oh.
You failed. Try again. Who knew a dog/dog would take you down? LOL.
Well, there's a nice way to say that. I don't think I failed. I'll try harder next time.
She's back real quick with if the Chiefs, if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, you might as well be going to a Taylor Swift concert since they show her so much.
Yeah.
LOL. I say F no.
Travis has a nice haircut though. I gotta say.
He's always stylish.
Bro, when he takes off his helmet, that is a sweet $3,000 haircut. And it's noticeable on the sideline. I gotta say. I mean, he's a fashionista.
Fresh.
And I think he broke Jerry Rice's record. You tied or broke it. I think he broke it. So that's a lot of winning if you're reaching Jerry Rice records.
Yeah, he's a beast. And people hate on it, but I think for me, I don't want to see them in it, and I don't want to see them do it again, and I'm hating on it as well. But if I do happen to find myself watching them in it, I'll just root for Andy Reid.
There you go. Way to find a silver lining there.
Yeah, I root for the old guy. I like Andy Reid. Plus, he's got a Holmgren look, and he comes from Holmgren's tree, and they almost look like the same guy.
They do.
Yeah.
They're eerily similar. Right?
Andy Reid took some facial hair cues and probably some I don't know, fashion tips from Holmgren. It's almost the same jacket, to be honest with you.
Probably the same shorts. It could be freezing out. Holmgren's like in front of the meeting rooms, hey, going outside. He'd have the biggest coat on and shorts. It was an interesting look, right? like the 1980s Eastern Conference Final basketball shorts. Like it was like, whoa, dude. Trying to show off the leg day.
You guys are the greatest. Thanks for jumping in tonight. Thanks for being here, everybody. Oh, Alina's got another comment.
If Kansas City is in it, I'm rooting for the commercials. That's it. $3,000 for the haircut? That's more than my mortgage. Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's what it costs when you get a haircut from Taylor Swift's stylist. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, probably got to fly the person in.
Yeah.
Put them up.
Yeah, I'm including the tip also.
Yeah.
There's actually a bunch of people in the comments here saying that they won't watch if Kansas City is in the Super Bowl.
Well,
you're watching. Don't you lie to me. Don't you lie to me.
Who doesn't love chips and salsa?
Don't lie to your family members. It's the last football you're going to see.
Thanks for watching, everybody, tonight, even though the show didn't actually officially start.
Yeah, it didn't get going. We'll get going next time, though. We love you all for being here. Thanks so much. Check out Delta. Go to 12status.com. Sign up for it for next year so that you can get 1 mile for every yard the Seahawks throw for. It's 12status.com. Must be 18 years or older and a legal resident of Washington State. Also, epicseats.com for any seats in the Seattle area, whether you're buying seats or selling seats. Do with epicseats.com. Nobody beats
Epic
Seats.
Our merch store is going strong. It's alldaybrand.co. And then also
all day, baby.
Seattle. Simplyslide.com. Dude, look at that Sonics logo right there. That's sweet.
It's not the Sonics.
Logo.
Yes. Thank you, Katie.
Homage. An homage is what I meant. We love you guys. Thanks for checking us out tonight. We'll be back this week to preview the upcoming weekend of the what do you call them? The conference championship games.
Yeah. Championship
Right.
Sunday, baby.
All of that stuff. And then we'll be back live next Sunday night, 9 p.m. as usual. We love you. And we'll see you next time. Anything else to say, Lofa?
You said it, man. F&A. Love you guys.
Bye, guys.